Hey everybody, it's Sleeve in South Jersey, and on this mall tour, we are visiting the Moorestown Mall in Moorestown, New Jersey. Originally developed by the Winston Musk Corporation, the mall opened in 1963 with Gimbels, John Wanamaker's, and Woolworths as the original anchors. In 1971, Sears was added, relocating from their former location in Camden. Now we've entered through Turn 7 in the former Lord & Taylor building. This is an interesting and eclectic mix of all kinds of closeouts and bargains and discounts. From what I gather, they use the main floor here for shopping space. And as we pass by the escalators, we're going to take a little sneak peek. But apparently the second floor is storage of some sort. And as we look over to our right, the escalator may not be blocked off, but we're definitely not supposed to go up there. You can see pallets up there of items. And we look here to our left a bit. I'm going to kind of walk over and just nonchalantly glance. Apparently the bargains come from up there and are brought down here to the main floor. Now for more about the Moorestown Mall. In 1986, the mall underwent a partial renovation, and this was the same year that Gimbels became Stearns. The Stearns would later close in 1990. The Stearns space was occupied by Boscov's, and still is. Of course, when they first opened, they went under the name Ports of the World. On December 23, 1992, a fire damaged much of the northeast quarter of the Moorestown Mall. From 1993 to 1994, the mall was completely renovated, leading to the aesthetics that you see here today. In 1995, John Wanamaker's became Hex and later was converted to Strawbridge and Clothier. In 1997, Lord & Taylor was added to the mall. And here we see a shuttered mall tenant space being used as a mall directory. Ironic, don't you think? The Rouse Company, in an attempt to protect their Cherry Hill Mall, just 3 miles away, in 1997 acquired the Moorestown Mall. On March 7, 2003, the Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust, or PREIT, acquired the Cherry Hill Mall, Echelon Mall, Moorestown Mall, Exton Square Mall, Plymouth Meeting, and the Gallery of Market East in a swap with the Rouse Company for the Christiana Mall in Delaware. In 2006, Strawbridge's became Macy's. Moorestown residents in 2011 approved the sale of alcohol at the mall, and this led to several upscale casual dining establishments being added to the mall as a result. In December 2011, plans were announced to replace the United Artists 7-screen movie theater and adjacent skate park of the mall with a 12-screen Regal Entertainment Theater. And in 2015, the food court was updated to match the more upscale mix at that time of retail available at the mall. On January 4th, 2017, Macy's announced a plan to shutter 68 stores nationwide, of which one of them was at the Moorestown Mall. Now, over the period between 2018 and 2019, the space formerly occupied by Macy's has been cut into several sections and has been filled by the following retailers: HomeSense, Sierra Trading Post, and Five Below. On August 28th, 2019, Lord & Taylor announced that they would be closing the Moorestown Mall location in 2020. Currently, that space is occupied by Turn 7, as we saw when we entered the mall. On February 4th, 2020, Sears announced the Moorestown Mall location would be one of 31 stores nationwide to close, and it did on April 11th of 2020. This leaves Boscov's as the only traditional mall tenant left. However, this mall is not done. As you can see on my left-hand side, we have a Planet Fitness that opened in 2020. It seems Priet is looking towards non-traditional anchors and a mixed-use development of this mall. Up ahead we see the shuttered Sears, which is going to be an ambulatory care facility for Cooper University Healthcare and should be opening in this year, 2023. In 2022, Priet received approval to construct 375 apartments on the property with a 125-room hotel in the works. In fact, the number of apartments on the Moorestown Mall property could reach 1,065. So what's my take on the Moorestown Mall? Well, I believe they're definitely punching above their weight class. They're 3 miles away from Cherry Hill, their sister mall, and quite frankly, their biggest competition. And they're not too far from the Deptford Mall, two of the biggest juggernauts in as far as malls go in South Jersey. And yet, unlike in the case of the Hamilton Mall, which is clearly a dying mall, the mall management here, in this case Priet, is doing what Namdar, in the case of the Voorhees Town Center or the Hamilton Mall, is not willing to do. And that is, they're willing to give this mall a fighting chance by encouraging non-traditional anchors, whether it's Cooper University Healthcare, or Five Below, or Michael's, which also arrived here in the mall in 2020, or Sierra Trading Post, and of course an upcoming hotel and apartment complex here. They're trying, mall management is, to keep this mall going, and I believe they're doing a good job. This is an uphill battle, and the mall story is not over yet. It's going to take some time to see whether this gamble pays off. But so far, so good. I thought I'd take a peek at the food court at the Moorestown Mall, and I couldn't help but notice how many of the restaurants in the food court were open. This is a good sign. And it seemed like they were doing decent business for a weekday during the Christmas holiday. This was actually right after Christmas and a couple of days before New Year's. Now, I didn't stay too long. I did happen to notice a blart, and I did not want them to get close enough to see my camera apparatus, so I kind of kept things moving. I think I did kind of take a double step there just to kind of get out of eyesight of the blart. But the fact that they do have security is a good sign. Now again, will this mall be here next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I really don't know. But the efforts they're making to transform this mall, I believe, could very well pay off for them in the long run. And perhaps down the road I'll be visiting a different Moorestown Mall than the one that I am looking at right now. I really enjoyed my time at the Moorestown Mall, and I do hope this mall does continue to punch above its weight class. And as far as future mall tours, I actually have a mall in Pennsylvania coming up, but I'm not going to say where. I will say that, little hint, this place retains the name of what was there before the mall was built. And I could give the motto of that, or advertising jingle of that particular place, but then I'd be giving it away. But I drove out there the day after my birthday back in January, and I really wasn't planning to do that particular mall. I was was kind of dead set on some supermarkets I wanted to check out, and found some great ones too that I'm going to bring this channel in the near future. But I kind of came at this mall by accident, and I'm glad I did. And you're going to be glad I did soon too when you see it. That's coming next month. My goal is to have one mall video a month, and so far since December when I started with Defford, we've been able to do this. And if you like the mall videos, if you like the supermarket videos, if you like all the crazy stuff that I'm doing, well, why don't you hit like? Why don't you hit subscribe even? And ring the bell. That way you find out when new stuff is dropping on this channel. If you like what you see here, I guarantee there's more stuff just like it coming out. You can even comment below and let me know what interests you. Maybe I might check out some areas that you've been wanting to see. I've had a few different places that have been suggested by my viewers and subscribers, and perhaps an area that I might visit next could have been suggested by you. So that's pretty much it for me. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the bell, of course. But I'm going to leave you to walk the mall as I walked it with some synthwave music to kind of add a little retro vibe here. And you can look around and see what you like about this mall. So I'll leave you alone for the next 5 minutes. How about that? I can't believe I got in this place.